Ugh. I'm on the draw. That is tough. Thalia's lieutenant is quite a card to have here. Hmm. That is so awkward. Oh man. If I don't get a land, I'm screwed. But if I get land, I go like Cathar, and Lieutenant even. That seems fine. Or the other way, I can just make a large Lieutenant. I'm not sure which is better. Probably the Cathars into the Lieutenant. Man, this is sick. I think I keep it. We're going to take a risk here and hope that we get our land. We have almost 50% chance. I mean, 16 lands left in the deck right now. We are on the draw, so we get another chance at it too. So we get another coin flip. I mean, the chances of us losing 2 coin flips in a row are decent, but not so high that I don't think that, you know, I can't take the risk. All right, cool. Yeah, now our deck is just in awesome mode. Hopefully we just get a land here, and then I can use Strength of Arms to punch through the stupid Moldgraph Scavenger. And Boon of Emrakul. Wow, that's aggressive. Glad that we didn't play the Thalia's Lieutenant. We don't have anything for 3. I'm not going to Choking Restraints it. Let's just play the Steadfast, pass the turn. And what do they have for 4-drop? Tangle Claw Werewolf. Sure. Seems just fine by me. Now I can go Courageous Outrider. I think I like that. Doesn't make sense to play Thalia's Lieutenant yet. Let's get a Sigardian Priest and put the rest on the bottom. This is looking real nice. Next turn I probably just go Priest Lieutenant. Although I'd like to get a counter on the Nearheath Chaplain. I might want to be a little bit careful with how long I hold on to it though. Tree of Perdition. So they get to deal me 7 damage. And then have a nice big defender afterwards, I suppose. I have the Strength of Arms. Can't push through a ton of damage. I mean, the Tree of Perdition blocks kind of forever, so doesn't seem great. So what do I do here? I could Choking Restraints the tree. I don't feel like that's super relevant. I can use the Sigardian Priest to tap it down if I feel like it's a big problem. I think that it's probably just play the Thalia's Lieutenant into the Sigardian Priest. I'd rather put the counter on the Lieutenant at that point than the Priest, I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to be tapping things with the Priest. And I could attack with both my creatures because I have the Strength of Arms. It's reasonable anyways. Alright. I think I kind of like that. Play Lieutenant. And then play Priest. And time to smash. Hoping that they block with Tangle Claw. I can just kill it. Doesn't seem super likely, though. Pretty sure Moldgraph's just blocking. I might just kill Moldgraph, too. Wow, I almost did that really wrong. If they have less creatures, Sigardian Priest gets better and better, so I think I'm okay with this. I don't want Moldgraph sitting around being a stupid wall forever. I know he's Choking Restraints the Tangle Claw when they go to flip it. Let them invest a bunch of time and mana into it, and then I'll just get rid of it afterwards. So Sinister Concoction's interesting. I'm not sure what I'd kill here if I were the opponent. Like, do you kill the Thalia's Lieutenant, or do you kill Courageous Outrider, because it's just the actual threat right now? Currently, I think I'm just on Choking Restraints the Tree of Perdition and get in there. I can use the Guardian Priest to stop the Tangle Claw. Guess I can do the same with the tree, but just means a lot of damage for me if I just smash here. I guess I could Choking Restraints this and then tap tree. just do an aggressive tap. There's nothing wrong with that. Probably kill our Courageous Outrider. I hit for 5. I don't mind that. I think it's good. Let's restrain, tap the tree, and smash. I can't imagine they don't just tap it here and make me lose a bunch of life. Sure. I'll remove that auto yield if it becomes a relevant thing, but it just doesn't matter right now. So I don't see any reason not to just auto yield to it. Just save time. I'm a big fan of saving time on the clock when you can. I don't know. It just having a faster, smooth game is just a big thing for me. Maybe not always the best idea, but I don't like messing around. Still no crack on the Sinister Concoction. Huh. Maybe they're just gonna kill the Guardian Priest? They must have a card in their hand, maybe. Like, I think that that's probably the answer, is they probably have a card in their hand that's, like, really good they just want to keep, don't want to discard it. It has to be pretty powerful to not want to save yourself 4 life there, though, and just cack off a 4/5, or, you know, the Thalia's Lieutenant or whatever. I think that it's probably correct to just kill the Outrider. Here we go. Kill Guardian Priest. Alright. That's the plan. The plan is to have a big blocker in Tree of Perdition, I guess. And Solitary Hunter, Backwoods Survivalists. Similar. That was close. Pretty close. Good guess. I can Thalia's Lieutenant with the Nearheath Chaplain, or I could just play Campaign of Vengeance and attack with these. My opponent's going to trade Backwoods Survivalist for Steadfast Cathar. And just take 1/2 damage. That's not great. It's better on my mana, though. I have a lot of 2-drops I can get out with the Nearheath Chaplains, so I guess it makes sense. I think that I'd rather wait until I can double those up. Alright. Yield all this, and let our opponent make their trade. And if they lose the Backwoods Survivalists, I guess they get a 1/1, but that means I can attack with the Thalia's Lieutenant next turn. They have to trade. I'm like, there's no way you don't block there. You'd have to be insane not to. Overwhelmed Mysteries is going to be a problem. This might be a deck where I want to have the Iron Rites cleansing against. They have Sinister Concoction and Ulvenwald Mysteries. I can't normally get the Concoction. They do also have Boon of Emrakul. Probably another one that I can't disenchant, though. The Mysteries is the real one. Accomplice. Accomplice is annoying. That's going to be a pain. Gavany Unhallowed and Nearheath Chaplain. Well, let's just play the Chaplain. Because I'm not going to run the Thalia's Lieutenant out there yet, so I'm not going to have anything die. We'll just attack with this. Just keep forcing our opponent to lose a life every turn. I don't want to attack the Thalia's Lieutenant into this, because it just doesn't make any sense. Just throw it away. So likely to draw another human at some point very soon here. Seems like a bad idea. Briarridge Patrol. Alright, that's a thing. I mean, I think I'm fine throwing away a bunch of creatures. I've got the Campaign of Vengeance now, so I can probably just attack all out next turn. Like, play the Unhallowed, then just swing with everything. And Thraben Inspector. Nice. Definitely like that. Get another counter on the Lieutenant. And getting to draw a card. Adding to our board for Campaign. This game's just over. We can attack with everything, and sure, our opponent gets to trade and stuff here, but Nearheath Chaplain dies, and then I just make tokens with Campaign of Vengeance, and they're just super dead to attacks. They get to trade some things off here, but it doesn't really matter all that much. I really don't think it's a big deal. block the 4/4. I mean, they have to block it. Yeah, this is just bad news all over for the opponent. Tree of Perdition can get in front of it, though. It's funny that Tree of Perdition is actually going to tap more than once this game, because I'm probably going to go over 20 life. Or at least I would if this game went on too much longer. I mean, I guess I'm going over 21 life right now, aren't I? Because I'm just going to gain a bunch of life off of Nearheath Chaplain. Wasn't really counting that one. So if our opponent wants, they can actually use Tree of Perdition to drain us again. Which is kind of funny. Not often that you see Tree of Perdition do more than 7 damage in a game. Opponent's got to have one hell of a rip, though. There we go, 22 Tree of Perdition. That is so awesome. That's sick. Getting that little value. Incremental value, man. Can't underestimate it. I'm sure that they're dead here, though. This is probably just the other clue being cracked. Yeah. With 5 mana, possibly 6. I don't know if they played a land this turn. I don't think they did. Then I can't think of a card that wins them the game here. Certain Death might keep them alive for a little while, but not very long. Like, even that doesn't do a lot. They kill Gavony Unhallowed, sure. But then we can just still attack with these, make 2 1/1s, draw 2 cards. Like, they're very dead. Yeah. That game was not particularly close at the end. Campaign of Vengeance, when you get your opponent fairly low, I mean like any of these kinds of cards, it is powerful. Not a whole lot they can do about it. A ton of inevitability. Now, do I want the Iron Rites Cleansing is the real question. Overworld Mysteries is nasty, but it is just the 1 card, and I don't think I'm killing any of their other enchantments or artifacts. I mean, they have 2 other enchantments, but those ones are just ones that you probably can't kill with the Iron Rites Cleansing. You're not going to get any value off of trying to kill Sinister Concoction, or, you know, hoping they play Boon of Emrakul on a creature with enough toughness to survive. That's pretty unlikely. I kind of think that I just leave it out. Survive the Night, I already have in the deck, and I don't think that it's anything amazing. Inspiring Captain. I do go wide a fair bit here. Captain does seem nice, I just don't know what I would take out over it. I think I'm just okay with the way the deck is. I don't see any, like, crazy good changes. There's some flyers they don't have. Like, they have a lack of flyers, so that's a thing. I could maybe put in Lunarch Mantle because of that. Over, like, True Faith Sensor seems a bit weird, but it might be correct. Because you want to have I want to maximize my flyers against this person. I have the Vessel of Ephemera, too. So those are certainly options. Might just take out a Steadfast Cathar for, like, Vessel of Ephemera, which is weird. The card's not nearly as good, but they have a lot of ground pounders that have, like, really, really big butts. And it might just be enough that I have a flyer. Maybe the Lunarch Mantle, though. I mean, the Lunarch Mantle just pushes through damage on the Cathars and stuff, too, because then they can't block the Moldgraph Scavenger. Makes all their, like, 4 toughness guys a lot worse. I guess that's okay. I might want the Guardian of Pilgrims out, though, instead of Steadfast. Yeah, we want to keep our human creature count high. Alright, that seems good. True Faith Sensor is so good in this deck with this many humans. Pretty happy we picked that up. Yep, this is just fine. It's not amazing by any means, but I should be able to draw some 2-drops. We already have Steadfast in the collective effort. That means this hand's probably good enough to keep anyways. Subjugator Angel's awkward, but if we go late enough, it's going to be good. Opponent mulliganing already. Alright, this is making me feel more and more confident. Our opponent mulliganing is really bad for them in their deck when we're trying to be super aggressive. Although, we'll see what we actually draw here, because Gavony Unhallowed's not what I want. With no swamps, Gavony Unhallowed's looking pretty awkward. Not to mention just the 4-drop. We really don't want 4s currently. Yeah, they have a lot of like 1/4s and 3/4s and crap like that. So Lunarch Mantle is looking good here. Just get to smash through it. I'm sure that our opponent was pretty happy to play Wildfield. They probably even sided that in against us, but sorry, opponent. We're just going to keep smashing your face. A Swamp would be fine, and any other like creature card that's not black would be great. Other than that, we're kind of in a bit of trouble. We're just going to pass the turn. Like, we don't have anything to do. All right, there we go. That at least is helpful. I'll play the Gavnion Hallowed first, just in case Steadfast Cathar dies. I can't really think of anything that would kill it, but if it happens, I want to get the counter. It's kind of a weird situation, because do you play the Gavnion Hallowed and show that you don't have any tricks and that they should block and kill your Steadfast Cathar, or do you, you know, just try and get the counter if they do have the kill spell? So it's kind of a strange situation. Oh, there's Certain Death. Wow, that's a lot of lands. I think we just pass. They can flip the Ulvenwald Captive. I guess I can attack and they'll probably block, but I can threaten something. See if they do. There's no real reason not to attack here. My opponent can just make a boneheaded decision and not block. Alright. So now they probably flip the captive. Oh. Hello. So we can Subjugate our Angel, it'll tap the captive and the Scarecrow, and then next turn we can Collective Effort down the captive and get some counters on our creatures. Seems good. Even Choking Restraint's something else if we really feel like it. They've got to tap now to flip the captive. That's got to be the plan, too. Yeah. I can't imagine... You don't hold 7 mana up with captive and not flip it. That's, like, always the play. It's so good as a 4/6 that makes 2 extra mana. Alright. Down to 11. We have a big flyer, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. They have a bunch of cards in hand. So it's certainly not over, but it doesn't look good for our opponent. Not with our 2 removal spells in hand. Our hand's really nice right now. We could use another creature, but it's not desperate yet. If they have some removal, then suddenly this game turns around a lot, but they're not snapping anything off real fast, so I can't imagine there's like another Certain Death here or something. If there was, I think it's a pretty easy, like, just smack down the Angel and leave back Abomination, make me do something. Because our opponent's deck is almost certainly going to have better late game. They've got a bunch of big creatures. They've got like the Tangle Claw Werewolf and the Ulvenwald Abominations, like this Captive, all that kind of stuff. They're going to have Certain Death. They might have a second one. I wouldn't be surprised. So that kind of thing is going to be a problem for us the longer the game goes. We've got to end it fast. See what they do here. They're thinking very hard about this turn. I'm going to guess that's a good sign for me. Prey Upon? If this is Prey Upon, what were they thinking about? Like, easiest Prey Upon in the universe. Old Captive on the Subjugator Angel. No? Okay. 3, 4... I have no idea what this is now. Could just be any number of creatures. They're thinking about, like, Tangled Claw, maybe? If they're tapping 4. 5. They're tapping the Ulvenwald Abomination. That's a brave plan. They must have Boon of Emrakul to kill Subjugator Angel. They're tapping 5, and then they'll tap 3 to kill the Angel. What's 5 for, though? I guess, like, grab any number of things. Thornhide Wolves or something. I'm trying to figure out what they have based off how they're tapping here, and they're not making it easy because they keep tapping and untapping at very different numbers. I'm really not sure what it means. Tapping the Abomination seems interesting as well. Like, that's not a good sign for me. Somber Walled Stag. Okay, so they're going to fight that on the Subjugator Angel. That's why they were taking so long. Or maybe they have, like, Clear Shot or something and just totally wreck me. It's like Clear Shot Somber Walled Stag on the Gavony Unhallowed and then have it fight Angel or something. What are they doing? Like, do they have the pump spell? They do. Oh, man. Did I actually call it? This is an aim high or something? Grotesque Mutation. Sure. Wow. That's a thing. This took a really long time for my opponent to figure out a line that seems pretty straightforward. Not sure why that took so long. Alright. Well, at least we get to Dawngryff, collective effort, and smack down some things. So let's just escalate. And, yep. So destroy a creature with power 4. Let's kill that Abomination. And I would like the counters on my creatures. Thank you very much. Get some big flyers. Smash for 5. We're both at 18 again. Ugh. 7 life swing was huge. Not sure why it took them so long to figure that out. That seemed like a pretty easy line of play. I guess they just weren't sure if they wanted to kill the Subjugator Angel. I think... that's a tough one, though. I mean, gaining 7 life, I think that it makes sense to probably kill the guy on the ground. Crack Wildfield. Do they have a splash color? Now we find out. This feels very much like they drew a card that's not in their main colors. Oh, apparently not. So I don't know why they cracked it that fast then. Do they just like have Midnight Scavengers or something to buy it back? Clear Shot. Sure. I don't understand. Why did they just crack it there? Not even like wait till the end of turn. Alright. Oh, maybe Delirium? Did that give them Delirium? Is that what it is? Maybe. It looks like it did. That kind of makes sense. Get to hold on to this land now so we can drain our opponent, hopefully. And let's just Choking Restraint that. Attack for 3. And we're racing. This is exactly where we didn't want to be. Man, that Clear Shot. Those are 2 very good turns for our opponent. Somberwald Stag with Grotesque Mutation into Clear Shot. Gross. So they're still attacking. Not a good sign for me. Means they have something big to put on the ground to block this Skurstag Supplicant. I can't imagine they want to trade 3 for 2 otherwise. The good news is we're still winning the race. Not by much, but we are winning it. Because we just attack for 3, make it 5, and then 3, make it 5, and the game's over. And we're at, like, 2 life. Or, no, we're at 3 life, sorry. Because they miss out on 1 extra attack that we get. Another Somberwald Stag? God damn, that is a top deck. Ugh. Gross. Alright. Well, now we have a problem. Steadfast Cathar can chump. This is not where we want to be. Not at all. I feel like I still need to be aggressive, but that might just be wrong. So attack for 3, my opponent attacks back for 7. And I block there. Like, the other option is to leave this back and block the Somberwald Stag, take the 3, go to 7. Hope that I can attack back with Steadfast Cathar and maybe win on the ground somehow. Like, what are the ways that we can win? We can play something like a Campaign of Vengeance. That might help, which means that I would want to keep the Dawngryff. If... Campaign of Vengeance probably just doesn't do it, though. Nearheath Chaplain would be a great draw. But that might want me to hold back, too. No, I guess Nearheath Chaplain would want me to attack here. Because then I could just hold back the stag with it. Maybe even just chump block the Moldgraph Scavenger. Make a bunch of 1/1s. I feel like we're more incentivized to be aggressive. I might even just take the damage from the Somberwald Stag this turn and hope that we draw something good. Like, I think that we just let them attack. It makes the most sense. No fear, just smashing in. Opponent showed us a lot of removal this game. Survive the night. That's kind of nice. Can't really attack. So I guess that this is just a pass. I'm one short of killing my opponent. Strength of Arms would have done it. So would Campaign of Vengeance. I mean, sure, our opponent could have something in hand, but I can't count on that at this point. So how do I want to do this? I think that I block the Moldgraph Scavenger with the Dawngryph and the Steadfast Cathar on the Somberwald, and I just survive the night the Dawngryph, kill the Moldgraph. That's the bigger problem for us right now. I can possibly punch through this, or I can like just trade Dawngryph for it afterwards. So I think it makes sense to do this. The like most obvious trick ever, because otherwise the blocks are pretty easy to reverse. Have a much better chance. And alright. What do we get? Faithbearer Paladin. That's a card. And we have 7 mana. We can still pull this out. Attack with the Dawngryph. Opponent seems like they just have 2 lands in hand. We've been drawing really hot. It's all gas. Dragoon is another flyer is a big threat. They're dead on board right now. They have to have something to get through it. They can kill the Faithbearer, and then I'd have to chump with the Dragoon, but apparently they don't. Yes. Wow, we got real lucky. I think that our opponent probably just drew 2 lands off the top, which is unfortunate for them, but very fortunate for us. We had a good draw there, and our opponent got pretty poor cards at the end. Drawing the Dragoon Faithbearer was insane, honestly. Alright, there we go. Round 1 in the bag. This deck is pretty good. I like the way that it's a very different black-white deck than I normally play, but I mean, it's very nice and aggressive. I definitely like it. It's almost mono-white, though. Like, it's all about the human interaction. All the Steadfast Cathars and True Faith Censor and Courageous Outrider, Thalia's Lieutenant, all that kind of thing. Just jamming a bunch of 2/2s. 2/2s for 2. Or 2/1s for 2. They become 2/3s when they attack. Whatever, you guys know. You know what I'm talking about. It's the Goblin Piker. Alright. See you in a minute. We'll do round 2. Hope that our opponent doesn't have anything too good to follow this up with, and I can just start tapping down this Gold Knight. Because I'm going to be at 12. If they have another big creature, especially something with haste, like if they have, say, Incorrigible Youths or something, and I'm kind of screwed. Real bad position for me to be in. Yep, like that. That's real bad. That's probably worse.